Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here again live from NECSS 2012 with David Kyle Johnson, Associate Professor of Philosophy at King's College. Kyle, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you're going to be a guest on the Rationally Speaking podcast in just a few moments.
Correct.
Tell us what you're here to talk about.
Well, I am here to talk about a couple of different things. The first thing that we'll probably talk about is something called the simulation argument, which is not my argument. It's an argument by Nick Bostrom, who is a professor of philosophy at Oxford. And the simulation argument is regarding the simulation hypothesis. And the simulation hypothesis suggests, roughly put, that we all live actually in a computer simulation.
Sort of like The Matrix.
Kind of like The Matrix. Matrix is a little bit different. He actually published a version of the argument in a book called More Matrix and Philosophy. It's part of the Pop Culture and Philosophy series that I'm involved in. And he argues not that we actually are in a simulation, but roughly put that it's a little bit more likely than you would think that we're living in a simulation. So the simulation hypothesis is not just something that's merely unfalsifiable, like are we still in a dream, like an Inception or something like that, but that it's actually, he actually puts a number on it, 20% likely that we live in a computer simulation. So we're going to be talking about that argument because I have a paper I recently published that involves that argument.
So check out the Rationally Speaking podcast for the live one taped at NECSS 2012. You can hear a much more fleshed out version of what you just heard here. And so is this your first time speaking at NECSS?
It is my first time speaking at NECSS, and I've enjoyed it very much. I say I've enjoyed the conference very much. I hope to enjoy speaking very much, being a guest on Rationally Speaking. I hope to enjoy that very much, and I hope to be able to come back too.
Are you a fan of the Rationally Speaking podcast?
I am. I'm a regular listener to Rationally Speaking and the Skeptic's Guide. So I frequent them while I'm walking my dog. That's my pleasure for when I get out and I have something to listen to while I'm walking my dog. So.
Very nice. Now, if people want to find out more about what you're doing, writing, talking about, how can they do that?
Just Google my name, David Kyle Johnson. The first hit should be my page on from my college, and it has a copy of the paper that I'll be talking about today. It has a list of all my publications in the Pop Culture and Philosophy series. Has pretty much everything you'd want to know about me anyway on that page.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.